Welcome back to the channel. And it's really hard to take developers at face value nowadays in the gaming industry, bro. Because Black Myth Wukong, Game Science, they dropped a blog saying the Xbox version of the game is coming out 1 year after the PlayStation version of the game has been out. And remember, Microsoft talked about how they were helping Game Science build the game for Xbox, but they couldn't talk about the partnerships, other deals that they made with other platforms. Microsoft said that themselves, hinting that Black Myth Wukong had a motherfucking exclusivity deal with PlayStation. But Black Myth and them came out. Remember, the game developer came out and said, "Oh, the Series S is the problem. It's not an exclusivity deal." And then Game Science themselves announced that the game is coming out 1 year later. And some articles that are written online, some people online, some journalists online, like, oh, it's just coincidence that it's coming out exactly 1 year later. Maybe Game Science just love August 20th. And then others are like, nah, this is definitely an exclusivity deal that we fucking heard about in the back since. They've been hearing Game Science had an exclusivity deal with PlayStation. And the game's coming out 1 year later. And the pre-orders come out 2 months before the game comes out. And we're like, nah, bro, because if it was really a Series S problem, they would have did what Larian did. Mostly because Larian technically couldn't do what they wanted to with the Series S. They didn't have the technical ability. They came out and said it. We don't have the technical ability. We can't get this game fucking running. And then you saw, as slowly time progressed, they got the game to be exactly like the Series X version of the game. It's not that the Series S wasn't capable. That's what they said when they started out. Like, oh, it's not capable of running split screen. You're lying. Diablo 4 can do that shit. And it's MMO. You just don't know how. And then later on, they got that motherfucker running exactly like the Series X version of the game. So who's the fault here? It's the developers. They have to have a scapegoat. Series S, easy one. But in this case, Microsoft came out and kind of said y'all had an exclusivity deal. They fucking know. They talked to y'all. People in the back end, sources were like, yeah, they got an exclusivity deal with PlayStation. Like, they definitely do. And then Game Science themselves, when they announced the Xbox version is coming out 1 year after the PlayStation version, they said in the same blog that, yeah, we had a lot of technical difficulties with the Xbox version of the game, so we're glad that we finally got it finished in 1 year's time. That's exactly what they said. And then they took the whole fucking blog down. They took the whole blog down. If you go look for the original blog that announced the Xbox version was coming out 1 year after the PlayStation one, that motherfucker's gone. So now all these articles that cite the source of Game Science themselves, the blog is gone. The website's taken down, bro. At this moment in time, when I'm recording this video right now, the motherfucker's gone. Like, if I scroll down right now, and they go to the source, because, like, they go to the source right now. You click on that motherfucker, you get that bitch loading up, that motherfucker's gone. That motherfucker, the source that they cite is Game Science themselves, and the website is gone, bro. The website is fucking gone, bro. You go back, go to another source, go to the blog where they originally announced it, because they cite the blog that they originally announced it. Gone. That motherfucker's gone. So Game Science, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Because you announced the game is coming a year later. You thought the gamers were just gonna be like, yeah, bro, it came out a year. It took a whole year to develop that motherfucker. That's fine. We take no, nigga. This exclusivity did like a whole year, and it's not even a whole year because you announced it right now. And all Microsoft did, they reposted that motherfucker on Twitter. That is all they did. They didn't put no PR up. They didn't put no banners. Black Myth Wukong didn't get nothing from Xbox because like y'all keep lying to the public. Y'all still lying to the public, bro. Talking like the Series S was the problem. Nah, nigga, y'all had an exclusivity deal with Sony. Just say that. It's fine. Niggas do that shit all the time. Y'all still so hella good. 90% on PC. But y'all sold hella fucking good. It didn't matter what console you launched on. The PC was gonna be the place y'all sold the most anyway. But we all know it was an exclusivity deal. We all know it's an exclusivity deal. Why the hell of them? Why is Game Science still acting like it's not? A year later. Exactly a year later. Because they could launch the game today. Because they said it's done. They could launch the game today. They're going to put the pre-orders up today. No, they're going to put the pre-orders up next week. or 2 weeks from now. And then they're going to launch the game 2 months from then. Why? If the game's done. Just put that motherfucker out if the game's done. Put that motherfucker on sale. Let motherfuckers buy it. But nah, it legit 1 year later is when the game launches. Exclusivity deal, bro. Because it could have been 11 months and niggas would have been fine with it. It could have been 11 months. People was like, okay, bro, y'all probably just finished it. Y'all gonna put it on sale. Y'all gonna let us play it. Nah, it still doesn't come out until the exact day a year later. That spells exclusivity deal. And I don't know what else to say about that. But I mean, Black Myth is coming to Xbox. I might play it. I didn't play it on PC because I didn't want to. I mean, it was broken on PC. It was broken on PlayStation. So they probably did have a whole year of trying to get this game to work on Xbox. That could be. But I don't think that's the case. Especially when Xbox themselves was saying they was working with y'all to get the game running. They was working with y'all personally to get the game running. There's no way it took a whole year. There's no way Microsoft is paying developers a whole year to go to Game Science and get this motherfucking game running. You gotta be... Nah, somebody's lying somewhere. And I don't think it's the platform holder that's lying. But I'm gonna end this right here. Make sure to like button, subscribe, and gaming news is still coming. It's still streaming. What is it called? Summer Games Fest is tonight at like 5. So I'm about to be streaming that. So I'll see y'all in the next one.